Hey community, this is Dr. Hugh, and I have an awesome webinar coming up right here. And what is that? It is going to be on the shocking science of grounding. Yes, there's lots and lots of research on this. And what I'm going to be talking about today is actually using a grounding sheet. And I'll go through all the research. I'll actually do a demonstration of what we use at our house. So this is pretty actually cool science behind this. So what exactly is grounding? So here's really what's happening here is I'm going to read this paragraph right in here because this is really important. The earth is like a battery on which surface the charge is negative. So what we really want to take away here is the earth's surface right here. The earth's surface is full of a bunch of negatively charged ions, right? Or electrons right in here. Now, why is this so important is in here, when you touch the grounding mat or sheet or grounding sheet, what actually happens is the Earth's electrons come up into your body and restore the imbalance that is in your body if indeed you have a lack of electrons. So when we look over right here at this graph right in here, what we're really looking at right here is the electrons. The Earth's planet is full of electrons here, and in a minute I'll actually be going over why it is so significant that you get a grounding mat. If you have any kind of chronic illness at all, you have a deficiency in electrons, and you can literally get this free from Mother Earth, from the God creation of Mother Earth. All you have to do is buy a grounding mat. So this is the exact grounding mat that we have at our house right here. You can click this link and this will take you to the Amazon. Now, if you're watching this or audio, you can go to my website and I'll have this whole PDF and you can download, and you can, if you really kind of want to geek out on any of these links, the downloads are going to be right there, so you can go and reference all the material that I'm actually talking about. So this right here is going to be critical. So this is in here is the grounding sheet is 20% silver. Now you're going to find some that are 5% silver, 10% silver. So there's a variety of sheets. Now what happens here is there's silver within the sheet. Now that is what is conducting the electrons throughout your whole entire body. So the amount of silver that you have in your sheet is really critical, because the more silver you have in the sheet, the more conduction you're going to have in your body, so you can actually get these electrons flowing through your entire body. All right, so what I want to show you right here is this is the sheet right here. Now I'm going to kind of blow this up. Now if you look really careful at these little, you're going to see these little squares, right? So those little squares there, that is actually the silver in what you're seeing. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit more. So, nope, that's not really going to work. So that work. Okay, so here you can see the little square patterns. So what you're seeing right there in those square patterns, that's actually the silver. So you want a good mat that has a lot of silver. Now I want to read this to you here, because really what we're going to be talking about is free radicals and what free radicals and the damage that free radicals can cause in your body, because this is where the grounding mat really comes in. It quenches, right? It quenches the free radicals in your body. If you have any chronic disease at all, I don't care what it is, fibromyalgia, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, IBS, maybe you've been damaged by antibiotics, maybe you have brain fog, brain fatigue, chronic fatigue, whatever it is, you have an abundance of free radicals. So let's just read this. So free radicals are unstable molecules with unpaired, so this is really critical, with unpaired electrons that can damage cells and tissues. They are naturally occurring, they are naturally produced in the body as byproducts of metabolism and other processes, but also can be generated by external factors such as pollution, smoking, and radiation. So here's what we're going to go is we're going to look at this graph right here, because they say that the picture is worth 1,000 words. So initially right here, this is going to be the oxidative stress. Now you're looking at right here is you're just looking at a stable molecule with the right amount of electrons. Now remember here is when we use the grounding mat, what we're doing is we're pulling electrons into our body, right? So we're pulling electrons into our body. This is what a free radical is. You can see right here is it's actually missing, right? It's actually missing a electron right there, right? So it's missing it. This is what makes it so damaging, is it's missing that electron, and that's what really is making it what we call a free radical. Now, what do antioxidants do? Antioxidants basically donate. They're going to donate one of their electrons right here, and they're going to bring it right over here so that that molecule, so that particular molecule is not massively causing damage and oxidative damage. So this is really critical, is when we talk about the grounding mat. The grounding mat is supplying an abundance of these electrons so it can go right in here and quench that free radical. Now, if you want to kind of geek out on these things right here, these are some natural antioxidants all in here. Here's some more antioxidants as well in here. And there's a big one, a new guy on the block which is methylene blue. That's a natural antioxidant. And again, when we come down to the antioxidants, you can see right here, the antioxidants, it's just donating an electron and putting it right there where one is actually missing. Now let me read this here to you. And if you want to geek out, you can geek out, and this is where the link right in here is. It says here, a body with too many free radicals may experience an imbalance known as oxidative stress. Now, what the research shows is every disease known to mankind grows in a body that has excessive oxidative damage. Your mitochondria get literally destroyed if they do not have enough electrons to move energy in the mitochondria, which contributes to the development of progression of various diseases, including cancer, heart disease, neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's disease, mild cognitive impairment, Parkinson's disease, all these things, respiratory diseases, asthma, COPD, inflammatory conditions. And if you've been watching any of my content at all, you know that every disease known to mankind grows in a body that is inflamed. So inflammation is not good, such as arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, and kidney disease. So what I want to show you right here is, this is going to be, I have a little video on YouTube, but what I want to show you right in here is I use this right here. So if you want to do this at home, if you want to get a grounding mat, I suggest that you get this meter. I got this at Home Depot. It's $30. You're going to see right in here, that is actually the model right in there. So this is what I'm going to recommend that you do if you actually get a mat and want to check this out. So you can see right here, this is the voltage right in here. So the voltage right here is 8.7. Now this is just me holding this meter, and there's two little dials right there. Let me actually walk you through this right here. So this is the video. This is the video on YouTube. It's a short video. It's 2.5, 3 minutes. So that's the title. So let me walk you through this. Okay, so you can see right here, this is my meter, right? And then you're going to see this white cord right here. That's the actually grounding wire that is in the ground of my outlet here. Let me move this forward a little bit. And then you can see that black dial right there. The black one goes into that's for the dial for the meter, right? And then the ground wire right here is on the socket right below, which is, you know, right in there. So you see right now the meter is reading 0.2. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to touch the red end right here. And when I touch the red end, you can see right here how I'm touching the red end right here. You can see how the meter is reading 2.1. So I'm completing a circuit with the black wire in the ground, and then the red wire, I'm completing a circuit, and it's reading the voltage in my body. So right now it's 2.1. So imagine like a 9-volt battery. Like if you stick a 9-volt battery on your tongue, you're going to get that sensation right here. This is kind of similar to what's happening in your body. So I have 2.1 volts. So right here, I'm going to be touching the grounding sheet, and look at what's going to happen to the voltage. So I was at 2.1 voltage. I touched the grounding sheet and it went down to like zero point 0.1 or zero point 0.2. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the electrons from Mother Earth are coming up through the ground wire into my body, neutralizing all those free radicals that I have in my body. Now, I also show you a demonstration is when I'm going to lay in my bed. So let me scoot this here. Okay, so you can see right here, this is where that wire was connected to. You can see right here, this is where that wire was connected to. I disconnected it. Now I'm going to hold the meter. Okay, so right here, I'm at 8.7 voltage. So I'm at 8.7 voltage just laying on my bed. Now, when I wasn't laying on my bed and I was holding a probe, I was at 2.1. So actually, there's more voltage actually laying in bed than just not laying in bed, right? So right now it's 8.7. Now I'm going to show you what happens here when I put in the, when I connect the ground. So it's 8.8. Now, what I want you to do is pay attention to this right in here. So it's already, you can see it's already dropped. I just touched it right there. Okay, so you can see how it automatically dropped right down there. It's 0.1. I do it again here. Let me just show you again. Unconnect it. Okay, you can see right here, unconnected, 8.7. I'm going to reconnect it. I just reconnected, 0.1. So what is this telling you? This is telling you that there's a drastic amount of electrons that are going into my body, and everyone has free radicals. If you live on Mother Earth, you're going to have free radicals. So this is something that you can do very simply at home. It's a one-time purchase, and you can use it forever. That's the cool thing about this thing is you can literally use this for long periods of time. Okay, so let's get back to the grounding mat. So here you can see here, this is when I was laying on my bed. And then right here you can see this is when I'm grounded. And I just want to kind of give you a couple of pictures right here. This is the, you can see right here, this is how I have it set up right in here. This right here is the red, and this is the black going to the ground. And then this is going to the ground on the lower one. This right here, if you actually want to check this out, you want to buy one, I suggest that you buy this one right here. Klein Tools, and right down in here, this is the, it's an MM235. So that's the meter. And believe me, I've been trying to figure this out. I had to go through 3 meters before I found a meter that works because they all have these different dials and variables. And when you lay on this mat, it's, we're talking a very, very, it's not like it's not like a 110 volt, right? So it needs to be a very delicate and precision meter. Now, this is very, very interesting. This is the mitochondria. And the research shows that if you have any disease growing in your body whatsoever, you have mitochondrial damage. And the mitochondrial damage, it handles electrons. That's all the mitochondria does all day long is handles electrons. So if you have sick mitochondria, you're going to be sick. Every disease, like there's a lot of things that every disease has. Like there's all these commonalities that these diseases have. And one of the things is mitochondrial dysfunction. Now, what I want to show you right here is you can see this free radicals. So this would be a healthy mitochondria. And if you look at all the energy production right in here, so you look in here, this is the mitochondria. It's a healthy mitochondria. And then what do we have over here? We have an aging mitochondria. We have a diseased mitochondria. You can see how that mitochondria is sick. Now check out this. Look at how many free radicals there are. This is a massive amount of free radicals. Look at all that free radical that's happening versus in here. So this is telling you that look at the energy production, ATP production. If you have sick mitochondria, you have massive amounts of free radicals. And hey, get a grounding mat. What do you have to lose? It's going to cost you $50 to $120 to actually see if this is actually going to work. Now, we've been sleeping on this for about a week now, and my wife absolutely loves the grounding mat, right? Absolutely loves it. Now, I found that since I've been doing the grounding mat, I have quite a bit of less pain. And just during that whole day, you're just getting, or at night, you're just getting the constant flow of electrons, quenching those free radicals in your body, and your body can heal and function the way God designed our body to heal. Here's just another example of these free radicals sitting in the body right here. As you can see, this is a normal cell, free radical damage, and there's lots of research on what oxidative stress can cause in your body. Here's another article. This is another great research article. If you want to geek out, I would suggest you go right in here. And so all these diseases in here have been linked to free radical damage. You can see it's massive. It's a lot. And at the end of the day, really what we're trying to do here, what we're doing is the Earth has negative charged ions here. We're pulling that through the ground, and then you are basically collecting these from in your body. So in essence, what we're really doing here is we're just giving your body what the Earth is already negative charged. So we're just sharing the Earth negative charge into your body, and then you can heal and function much better. Mitochondria ATP production. Now, there's a variety of ways that you can do this. You can walk on the ground. You can get the same benefit by walking on the ground. You have to be barefooted, or you can start to use a grounding mat in here. Now, I just want to go over some basic things with electricity. So you can see this right here. This would be your electrical panel. So when you do this, you have to make sure that your house is new enough where it has actually a grounding wire. Now, if you go to a house that's built in the 20s or the 30s, it doesn't have a formal ground. Now, you can still do a grounding sheet. You just have to put this out your window, and you have to bring this wire down to the ground. So every modern house that has grounded electricity has this mechanism in it right here. So they have basically it's a copper pipe or post that's into the ground, and from your electrical box, all these wires go here. Like there's a main wire in your electrical box, and all the grounding is connected in your electrical box, right? So it's pretty amazing to think about. So your whole electricity in your house is grounded to a copper post outside your house, so it prevents fires and it can ground. This is what this looks like right in here. This would be the grounding post in here, and you can see how this is connected right in there. Now, they've also done some really cool research on grounding and blood flow. Because one of the things, what happens if you put two magnets, right? If you put a negative and a negative magnet together, they're going to have some kind of resistance, and they're going to repel each other. Versus if you have a positive and negative magnet, they do this. Now, what happens in your blood here is if you don't have enough electrons, look at this, you don't have enough electrons in here, your blood has weak negative charge. So when it has weak negative charge, your blood cells have a tendency to stick together. So if you don't have enough electrons, because the electrons repel the blood cells, if you don't have enough electrons, your blood cells have a tendency to stick together, and that's really, really bad, right? So cells that stick together, that blood becomes very thick. It can cause an array of different problems. So you do not want your blood cells to be looking like this in here. Now, when you ground, right? So when you ground, the red blood cells have more of a negative charge. When they have more of a negative charge, guess what? They can repel each blood cell, and the blood cells can gather more oxygen, deliver more nutrients. So you can just see, like in this right here, when you have these cells sitting right here, like that's going to be pretty dense, and all those red blood cells are not going to be functioning optimally, and there's going to be disease growing in here. Versus if we have these red blood cells in here, they're all separated, it can get fully oxygenated, and this is the best delivery system for health. Here's just another example of it. Here you can see that this red blood cell in here, it has this red blood cell in here is a bunch of negative charges, so it's going to separate from all the rest. Versus here, we have all these red blood cells, which are basically one big glob of cells, and this, that's just disease starts to grow in that kind of body. Now, if you want to kind of geek out, there's this right in here, and this is a reference article right in here. If you want to geek out on this right here, is they've actually done this with grounding, and what they've done is they've taken someone's blood, and then so they looked at it under a microscope before and after grounding, and you can see right in here. So this right here, this is before grounding, so you can see those red blood cells. You see how they stack? They're stacking. This is after. This is before. Not enough negative charge. Here's after. They're all separated. So this is a very, very simple therapy. I think it's very powerful. Now, is it the Holy Grail? Nothing is the Holy Grail when it comes to sickness and disease. Everyone needs a polytherapy approach. So the more things that you can add into your health, the better you are going to be. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate it. And remember, is where there's help, there's hope. Take care. Bye-bye.